Welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive. Today we're doing something a little different.
Yeah.
We're swapping out the usual stack of books and articles for something a bit more, well, cinematic.
A little more visual.
Yeah, exactly. We're diving into the world of film today.
I like it. And what a film it is.
I know. Three Friends, a 2024 French film.
Oui, oui.
Haha, exactly. And you know what's really interesting in my film? We are looking at the film through a very specific lens today.
Absolutely.
This is the Georgian version of the film's page on the movie database.
I mean, how often do we get to say that? Talk about an international deep dive.
I know, it's not every day we get to see the world through Georgian eyes when we're talking about French cinema.
Exactly. And that adds a whole other layer to this whole thing.
It really does. Even something as simple as the title.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, in English, it's Three Friends, straightforward.
Right to the point.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're getting, but in the French, trois amis.
Ooh la la. There's a certain je ne sais quoi to the French.
I completely agree. It just hits different.
It really does.
And speaking of hitting different, let's set the stage for our listeners who haven't had the chance to see the film.
Let's paint a picture.
Three Friends. It's a captivating watch, I'll tell you that much. This blend of comedy and melodrama, a classic French cinema combo, and it was released just this past June. It's just under 2 hours, so you get a really thought-provoking journey, but you don't have to clear your entire schedule.
You get to keep your whole night and still have plenty to think about. Although I have to say, the missing user score on the film's page is really making me even more curious about this one.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Well, think about it. This is a film dealing with love betrayal, different perspectives on life itself. It's bound to spark some strong reactions from viewers.
It's true. You know, you see a missing user score on a film page, and it's like, what's going on here? Is this going to be a love it or hate it kind of film?
Exactly. And I'm dying to know which side people fall on or if it's a complete split down the middle.
Well, let's not keep our listeners in suspense any longer. Let's meet the stars of the show, shall we?
Oh, yes. Introduce us to the leading ladies.
With pleasure. Three Friends introduces us to Joan, Alice, and Rebecca. And let me tell you, these women are navigating some choppy waters when it comes to love and commitment.
Oh, I bet. Each with their own compass, trying to find their way.
Exactly.
So tell me more. Who are these women?
All right, so we have Joan. She's just made the tough decision to leave her partner, Victor, who is also the father of her daughter.
Oh, wow. Talk about a life-altering decision.
Right, and she's convinced it's the right thing to do for everyone involved.
Of course.
But then Victor disappears, and suddenly Joan is dealing with a whole other layer of guilt and uncertainty.
Oh, no. That's awful.
It's a lot to unpack.
It is. So we have Joan wrestling with this huge life change, and then we have
Alice.
Tell me about Alice.
She's the pragmatist of the group, very practical when it comes to pretty much everything, but especially love.
Okay, I see. How so?
So she's all about what she calls marriages of convenience.
Marriages of convenience. What does that even mean?
So basically, she believes in affection and companionship in a relationship, which are obviously important.
Yeah.
But she's not really looking for passionate love. She thinks it's messy and complicated.
Interesting. So she's all about practicality.
Exactly.
No fuss, no muss. I can see the appeal.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique outlook on love.
It is. So we have Joan grappling with her choices, Alice opting for a more practical approach to love, and then there's
Rebecca, our wild card.
Oh, tell me more about this wild card.
Okay, so Rebecca is adventurous, always up for anything.
Sounds fun.
She is, but she's also secretly involved with Alice's partner.
Wait a minute. What? Okay, so now we're talking.
I know, right? Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Not telling me. This is messy.
And it's all thanks to the brilliant minds of director Emmanuel Moret and co-writer Carmen Leroy.
They've created quite the tangled web, haven't they?
They really have, and it makes you wonder just how far can love, friendship, and personal beliefs be pushed before they completely unravel.
It's a question we'll have to keep in mind as we dive deeper into Three Friends.
It's like we're watching a train wreck in slow motion, but we can't look away.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of film, isn't it? We get to experience these complicated situations, these messy relationships, without actually having to live through them ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a front row seat to all the drama, but without any of the real-life consequences.
And speaking of front row seats, the cast of Three Friends is incredible.
Oh, tell me they didn't skimp on the casting for this one.
Not at all. We're talking Camille Cotton, Sarah Forestier, and India Hare as our leading ladies.
Wow. Those are some seriously talented actresses.
Right. Their performances are phenomenal, so nuanced and vulnerable.
You really feel like you're right there with them experiencing every emotion.
Exactly. And let's not forget the male actors who bring their own A game. Damien Bernard, Grégoire Ludig.
Of course.
Oh, yes. How can I forget Vincent McCain as Victor?
The Victor. The man, the myth, the mystery.
Uh-huh. Right. I mean, we're 2 parts into this deep dive and he's already vanished. Poof. Gone without a trace.
It's true. It really makes you think about the impact our actions have on others, even when we think we're doing the right thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We can't control how our choices affect those around us, no matter how much we might want to.
So true. But back to Victor for a moment. What do you think happened to him? Why vanish like that?
Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. But I have a feeling his disappearance is going to reveal a whole lot more than we realize.
Oh, I agree. It's like his absence is this catalyst that sets off a chain reaction. Suddenly, everyone else is forced to confront their own choices and desires.
Exactly. Take Alice, for example. She's all about practicalities, marriages of convenience. But seeing the fallout from Joan and Victor's situation, that's got to make her think twice about her own outlook on love.
Right. It makes you wonder, can you really avoid heartache by choosing logic over passion?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's something that Alice might just have to grapple with as the story unfolds.
Right.
And then there's the matter of their friendship. Can a bond like that survive betrayal, secrets, fundamentally different views on love and life?
That's the real question here, isn't it? What are the limits of friendship? It's a theme that's woven throughout the entire film, and it really gets you thinking.
It does. Because we've all been there, haven't we? We've all had those moments where our friendships are tested.
Absolutely. It's a universal experience, and it's one of the reasons Three Friends is so relatable.
It's a bit like we're holding our breath the whole time.
Oh, totally. Waiting to see if it all explodes or somehow manages to piece itself back together.
And that's the brilliance of Three Friends. It's messy and real, and it forces you to confront some uncomfortable truths about relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not afraid to show the raw and sometimes painful side of love and friendship.
And speaking of raw, have you noticed the film's content score on the page?
Oh, yeah, it's sky high, isn't it? A 94. That's almost unheard of.
I know, especially for a film dealing with such adult themes.
Well, that's French cinema for you. They've never been afraid to push boundaries, explore the complexities of life and love with, certain honesty.
It's true. It makes you wonder even more about that missing user score, though, doesn't it?
It really does. It's like the filmmakers threw a grenade into our expectations, and we're all just here picking up the pieces, trying to make sense of it all.
And maybe that's the point.
Maybe. Maybe they want us to question everything we thought we knew about love and friendship.
Maybe there are no easy answers. No right or wrong ways to navigate these relationships.
And maybe that's okay. Maybe the journey itself is what matters most.
It's definitely a journey worth taking. Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to say au revoir to Three Friends.
But not before we leave our listeners with something to ponder.
Always. So tell me, as you were watching the film, did you find yourself drawn to one character's perspective more than the others? Did any of them resonate with your own experiences?
It's a tough one, isn't it? They're all so flawed, so human. But that's what makes them so relatable.
Exactly, and that's why Three Friends is so much more than just a film. It's a conversation starter, a mirror reflecting our own messy, complicated relationships back at us.
And sometimes a little reflection is all it takes to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the connections we forge with others.
That's a beautiful thought to end on. Until next time, happy watching, everyone.